Breaking news, ladies and gentlemen, breaking news. Pandemonium in the Middle East as Israel and the Gaza Strip has finally come to an agreement of a ceasefire deal. Ladies and gentlemen, there's none more happy than the Palestinians. Yeah, greetings and salutations, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for tuning into Deep Roots TV as the new incoming administration, Donald Trump and J.D. Vance, has put their hand in a ceasefire deal in the Middle East, ladies and gentlemen, as Israel and Hamas has come to a ceasefire deal, including hostage exchange. A hostage and ceasefire deal between Hamas and Israel has been reached Wednesday following more than 15 months of extraordinary bloodshed and violence in the Gaza. President Joe Biden said that Wednesday implementations of the agreement is to start on Sunday. Qatar Prime Minister Mohammed bin Abdulrahman Al Thani said that the news conference announcing the deal in Doha, the Qatar capital, where intense negotiations have taken place over the past several weeks. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I have some words here from the current president of the United States, yes, Joe Biden, delivering a briefing from the White House podium, and I'm telling you, it is pandemonium at this time in the Middle East. Now, I man would like to play this video right now so the current president could let you know what is going on. Here is the current president, Mr. Joe Biden, explaining to you the ceasefire that they have just negotiated. What's going on?
It's a very good afternoon, because at long last, I can announce a ceasefire and a hostage deal has been reached between Israel and Hamas. For more than 15 months of conflict that began with Hezbollah's brutal massacre on October the 7th, more than 15 months of terror for the hostages, their families, the Israeli people, more than 15 months of suffering by the innocent people of Gaza. Fighting in Gaza will stop, and soon the hostages will return home to their families. The elements of this deal were what I laid out in detail this past May, which was embraced by countries around the world and endorsed overwhelmingly by the UN Security Council. The deal is structured in 3 phases. Phase 1 will last 6 weeks. It includes a full and complete ceasefire, withdrawal of Israeli forces from all the populated areas of Gaza, and the release of a number of hostages held by Hamas, including women and elderly and the wounded. And I'm proud to say Americans will be part of that hostage release in Phase 1 as well. And the Vice President and I cannot wait to welcome them home. In exchange, Israel released hundreds of Palestinian prisoners. And during Phase 1, the Palestinians can also return to their neighborhoods in all the areas of Gaza. And the surge of humanitarian assistance into Gaza will begin. And the innocent people can have a greater access to these vital supplies. You know, during the next 6 weeks, Israel will negotiate the necessary arrangements to get Phase 2, which is a permanent end of the war. Let me say it again, a permanent end of the war. There are a number of details to negotiate to move from Phase 1 to Phase 2, but the plan says if negotiations take longer than 6 weeks, the ceasefire will continue as long as the negotiations continue. I've spoken to the Emir of Kuwait and the President of Egypt, and we have pledged to make sure the negotiations will keep moving forward for as long as it takes. Then, when phase 2 begins, there will be an exchange for release of the remaining living hostages, including male soldiers, and all remaining Israeli forces will be withdrawn from Gaza, and the temporary ceasefire will become permanent. And finally, phase 3, any final remains of hostages who have been killed will be returned to their families, and a major reconstruction plan for Gaza will begin. This is the ceasefire agreement I introduced last spring. Today, Hamas and Israel have agreed to that ceasefire agreement.
Now, families and friends, I want to say I am elated right now that the Gaza Strip and Israel has come up with a ceasefire. Now, Donald Trump's already reveling the victory because he did send his envoy over there, his Middle East envoy, and you know Donald Trump is going to jump out and take some credit. So as he tweeted on the Truth Social, this epic ceasefire agreement could have only happened as a result of a historic victory in November, as it signaled to the entire world that my administration would seek peace and negotiate deals to ensure the safety of all Americans and our allies. I am thrilled. Americans and Israel hostages will be returned home to be reunited with their families and loved ones. With this deal in place, my national security team, through the efforts of Special Envoy Middle East Steve Witkoff, will continue to work closely with Israel and our allies to make sure Gaza never again becomes a terrorist safe haven. We will continue promoting peace through strength throughout the region as we build upon the momentum of the ceasefire to further expand the historic Abraham Accord. This is only the beginning of a great thing to come for America and indeed the world. We have achieved so much without even being in the White House. Just imagine all the wonderful things that will happen when I return to the White House and my administration is fully confirmed, so they can secure more victories for the United States, says the incoming President Donald J. Trump. Now, I want to touch a little point, people. Big up on yourself. If you don't have not subscribers yet, subscribe. Hit that thumbs up button so, you know, YouTube could generate the algorithm for me. And share it up to anyone that you think would like the content that the Rasta man is producing. Now, I wonder why Joseph Robinette Biden, the current president of the United States, has been in power 5 days less of his full administration. And I want to ask a question, families and friends, why it took so long for a ceasefire deal to be agreed upon. Imagine, I know it was a horrific day, October the 7th, and the Israeli value their civilian more than the Palestinian civilians, but it's a shame because tens of thousands of people has been taken out, tens of thousands of children has been taken out. So I don't understand why all the universities and all the hospitals in Palestine had to be razed, had to be taken out before a ceasefire deal could be made. I am happy for Israel. I am happy for the Palestinians. I'm happy for the United States and the entire Middle East, the entire region that has been destabilized by the United States and its war faction, Netanyahu, and the Israel IDF soldiers that have committed multiple war crimes against the Palestinians, and Israel has been shielded by the Eurocentric hegemony, which is Germany, England, the United States, and other European countries that seek to destroy the brown people of the Middle East and steal their natural resources. There is no hiding it. It's blatant and out on the TV. So my question is, ladies and gentlemen, will the United States put some more pressure on Israel, charge them with war crime in accordance with the ICC, the International Criminal Court, and the ICJ? Now, hats off to South Africa and Venezuela and all the other countries that has put pressure on the UN, although they are useless to, bring attention to these Palestinians that were being wiped off the planet. I want to say hats off also to the new Middle East envoy and Mr. Steve Witkoff, because Donald Trump have not even stepped into the White House as yet, as though he is elected, and this is a great deal, because the people of Palestine deserve better. They are humans too. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Rastafari Soldier here of Deep Roots TV, elated for the Palestinians and the Middle East, because there has been a peace deal agreed between Hamas and Israel. So the Gaza Strip, hopefully, ladies and gentlemen, is going to sleep in peace tonight. It's pandemonium and celebration of peace, ladies and gentlemen.
والله شر